Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Jackie Noelke on the line, and she's co-founder and CEO over at the CEO Store. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. So excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm glad to have you on, and I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about using your mission to guide your business decisions. And before we get into that, I do want to go a little bit further into what you're doing over at the CEO Store. So tell us a little bit more about the store, please.
Yeah, so it's actually brand new. I'm a 3-time business owner, so I have multiple businesses. And really it was birthed from wanting to be able to support women in their journey of being a thriving CEO of their own companies. And also we really wanted to have a way to give back. And so our mission is to not only help women thrive as the CEOs of their own companies, but to also give back to causes fighting for equality. So that's kind of how it was birthed. And I've been an online entrepreneur for a little over 6 years. So through this process, I kind of know of all the little things that you need and want to have as far as everything from clothes to wearing your branding shoots to how to decorate your home office to, and then of course, digital downloads with business building resources, all that kind of stuff. So that's why we formed the CEO Store. And that's how it came about.
So, I mean, how did you really come up with this mission? Because obviously, I mean, name of our company, right? Mission Matters. So we're definitely mission-based over here. But like, how did you narrow it down? Because there's people out there that have always kind of wanted to tie some of their expertise with some of the things they care about. Like, how'd you go about that process?
Yeah. So all 3 of my businesses are women-owned businesses, and what's great is that women are in some ways breaking that glass ceiling when it comes to entrepreneurship. So we just want to have more and more women at the table doing it. And so out of our own experience, we knew that we want to support women like us who, didn't really know how to start, wanted to get in and really create their own success, their own business. And then also, we're also 50% minority owned. So that also came into play, and we want to help more minorities be at the table in the discussions, all that kind of stuff when it comes to marketing, business, entrepreneurship, all of the above. So we just wanted to have more voices, more diverse voices at the table.
So how does this idea of mission or being mission-based, like how does it affect your day-to-day decisions and operations?
Yeah, love it. So we actually make every single decision based on our mission, and I'll explain a little bit how we do that. So when we have team meetings, if we are, involved in strategic planning or even some little things on what we're going to post on social media, what we're going to add to our store, all of those kind of discussions go back to, does this support our mission? So we ask that question every single time we're making a decision in our business. And if it's not aligned with our mission, then we automatically know the answer is, okay, this is not for us. This is something we don't need to pursue. So it really helps us get a lot of clarity in how we run our day-to-day operations, how we make our decisions. And, if it doesn't go back and it doesn't support our mission of helping women business owners thrive as CEOs, and if it doesn't support our fight for equality, then it's not for us. And then automatically we know the answer is no, and we'll move on.
So, obviously you said you have 3 businesses, so you've been doing this for a while, and a lot of them are online. You mentioned there's some people out there listening that maybe aren't quite as far along as you are in business, or maybe they're just getting started. I mean, what's one of those big pieces of advice that you'd have for those that are out there wanting to get started as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, absolutely. Progress over perfection. Even when I first started 6 years ago with my first business, I mean, I twiddled my thumbs for so long before I actually put it out there, and I could have been moving so much faster. So just do it, and more than likely your first idea, or a lot of times, mine absolutely did not, your first idea might not be the one that, takes off and gets you a lot of success, but just start dipping your toes in the water. Like, just take that action and go for it. Like, absolutely go for it. Don't hold back. Feel the fear and do it anyway. All those things, that is how you will get to where you want to be as a business owner.
That's awesome. And so now I do have to ask, I know you just launched the brand, the CEO store. What's next? Like, tell us about some of your plans for the future.
Yeah, so obviously right now we just launched it in November. So we're super pumped right now, really focused on that. I also have a Facebook and Instagram ad agency that I'm the co-owner of. And so we are looking to really represent more and more women. We have more diverse people in the agency. So we're growing that always. I also happen to have a marketing membership for doctors, which is always growing as well. But I think as far as what's next business-wise, I'm going to focus on these 3. I always like to get each business go, really steady and extreme, pretty profitable before I move on to the next. So I will be focusing most of my efforts on growing the CEO this year, of course, podcast guesting, all that kind of stuff like I'm doing right now. And then we'll see what's next. You never know with me. In another year, I could definitely have another business going.
I don't know how you do it. I can't keep up. I'm like, I can barely do one over here in 3 hours. That's a whole lot. Sounds like a whole lot of work to me, but I love it. I mean, I like to see what you're doing. I like to see the growth, and congrats again on the CEO store. So if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more and they want to connect either with the CEO store or even with your other businesses. I mean, you mentioned you had an ad agency and a couple other things. I mean, what's the best way for people to connect with you and your content and just what you're doing overall?
Yeah, so if you go to theceostore.com, you'll find, obviously you can shop there. You'll also find links to our ad agency there. And if you're a doctor wanting to work with me or my team, you can always check me out on LinkedIn. You can message me there. My team usually checks those messages and lets me know. But you can find me at Jackie Noelke on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, become my Facebook friend. I accept all requests. And also at theceostore.com.
Perfect. Well, Jackie, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work that you're doing over at the CEO store. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely go to subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Jackie, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was fun.